Which is better, donut flavored beer or wine made from actual donuts? I'm working with some of the best brewers in the entire world to make donut beer, which will go face to face with my own version to see if using real donuts is better. And the best part is, this time you'll have an opportunity to decide which is best. And to start, we need to make the donut beer.
Two favorite things in life are donuts and beer. I've never drinking donuts before, but today's the day.
The basics of making beer involve starting with a whole bunch of grain, boiling it in water, which releases sugars, and fermenting that liquid, where yeast turns sugar into alcohol over time. So why can't we just add the donuts to the beer and ferment those all together? I mean, because that's what I would do.
Yeah, we could, but like the fat in the donuts will just kill the head retention. It's going to be a super flat beer if you do that.
Gotcha, okay. Turns out there are a whole bunch of different ways that we can make a beer taste like donuts, and it all comes down to a carefully curated selection of ingredients.
So a donut beer should have something of a sort of silky smooth mouthfeel.
Sure.
Biscuit, what we're going for here is donut dough. Crystal 45 is going to add a bit of sweetness for sure, like caramel sweetness.
Okay. There'll be a lot of specialty malts, which would be like your darker malts, your crystal malts, your chocolate malts, milk, sugar, the lactose, and then actually going to add molasses.
So we're not using actual donuts to make the donut beer, but it's going to be a combination of the types of grains we use to try to get this as close as possible to tasting like a donut.
Questions, comments, concerns?
When can we eat the donuts?
So there is a lot that went into this beer, a ton of ingredients that we didn't cover, but if you're interested in making this, I'll go ahead and add the entire recipe and everything that we used in the description. Is it pretty standard practice to use a combination of multiple different types of grain for a well-rounded beer?
Yes, but typically the beers I brew are going to have like 3 or 4 different ingredients.
Not
this
like
one,
20 like we have here.
Yeah, this one is insane.
So as we're mixing together all these grains into the water, this room literally smells like a bakery right now. It is insane.
I feel like I'm at Dolly World.
What's Dolly World?
What? It's a theme park, and everywhere you go smells like funnel cake. And
it does kind of smell like that.
It's a funnel cake vibe, yeah.
So making something taste like donuts that can sometimes taste like liquid tree actually takes a lot of thought out planning and skill. Now we've got our boil started, and there are a few more things we gotta add to make this more donut-y.
Magnums.
With just a bit of hops, a tasteful amount of molasses, combined with a sprinkle of lactose, we are one step closer to where we want to be.
So beautiful.
And now all that's left to do with our liquid is transfer it to a fermenter, where we'll then add yeast, and over the course of the next few weeks, it'll transform into delicious beer as the sugar converts into alcohol.
Cheers.
Cheers to donut beer.
Oh, I sure took my Zen out. This is weird now.
So with the beer fermenting, it's not time to celebrate just yet, because the biggest question on my mind is why we didn't use actual donuts.
I feel pretty good.
Little do these guys know, all throughout the process I've been carefully taking notes, because in true scientific fashion, I decided that while we wait for the beer to finish, I was going to take matters into my own hands. First order of business, gathering a dozen of some of the best damn donuts I've ever seen in my life. It's a shame what their fate entails. I could not in the right mind let these all go to waste. Now the plan here for making donut wine is to basically replace the grains with donuts. I use my starter kits to make new batches all the time, although this is my first time using donuts. But if you're interested in getting into homebrewing and you don't know where to start, these kits are great. Once I created a giant donut mess, got my fingers sticky as hell, and fought every temptation in me not to eat all of these donuts, I went ahead and added honey, which means technically this is going to be a donut mead. So part of my attempt at preventing this from going bad is to just supply enough sugar to get a higher alcohol content, and more than we would get from just the donuts alone. So that's why I'm adding so much honey, plus it'll make it taste better too. Never in my life did I think I'd find myself mixing donuts and water in a jug with the intention of making a drinkable beverage, but here we are. And similarly to the beer, just a little bit of yeast is all we need to actually turn this into alcohol. Now, one thing Martin pointed out is that the fats in donuts can affect the head retention of the liquid and make it go flat. But luckily, by choosing to go down the mead making path, we actually don't want carbonation, so it really doesn't matter. My biggest concern is the fats and oils going rancid, And honestly, I don't have a good plan to prevent that. Alright, so it took about 30 days, but it seemed to ferment with no issues. And then once I saw that it settled down, I went ahead and got the mead separated. So now this is the stage where you really want to be deliberate and tactical with the flavors that you're adding. Right now it tastes very yeasty and doughy, which is actually kind of ideal, because I think we can work with that. Can you tell it was made with donuts? No, not at all. But I think there are a few things we can add to help. I made this vanilla extract around Christmas that really reminds me of like a vanilla frosting, and then I think if we add a bit more honey and some actual just white sugar, we could be in a better spot. So I think things are looking promising. Our ingredients are added. I gave them some time to get to know each other. Now all I want to know is, does this have a shot at competing with the donut beer? Alright guys, well it has been a couple months since we first put this batch together, and now it's finally time to give it a try and see how everything tastes. I'm really curious to see how this actually turned out, and more importantly, if it tastes anything like donuts at all. I think I really nailed it on the smell, actually. Most fermented products have an inherent sort of yeasty smell to them, and using the donuts kind of helped lean into that. Like, it smells like the bread of a donut, which is really pleasant. Moment of truth. Wow. You guys, it tastes like a donut. It tastes like I'm drinking a liquid alcohol donut. And I know that sounds crazy, and those words have probably never been said before. When I was adding ingredients post-fermentation, I could tell that it had potential. When you taste it, you would taste a section of vanilla, then a section of yeast, and then a section of sweetness. But with time, which it's only been aging for like a month, those things sort of became cohesive together, and now what we have here is quite reminiscent of a donut, which was the goal, but I wasn't exactly expecting the results to be this good. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't the best mead I've ever made, and it's not perfect. There's still a hotness to it. Yeast are not meant to ferment donuts. But that said, the goal is to create a final product that tastes like donuts, and I think we accomplished that. And I can't wait to let some others have a taste. Now with the wine complete and the beer finishing up, you're probably wondering the same thing as me. Which is better? Well, what if I told you that you can decide for yourself and taste them both in person? So usually when we make a beer, we're the ones that get to taste the final product, but this is the first time ever that we actually get to share what we're making with all of you.
It's a beer that none of us have ever brewed before,
Nope.
so this is completely in the unknown.
If you want to try it yourself and you want to drink it with us, make sure to come to HomebrewCon in Asheville, June 20th. We will bring this batch for you to try, and hopefully it's good. We'll find out, I guess.
First round's on me.